Hey, what is up everybody? I'm Chance and we're back with Our Life, Beginnings, and Always. Let's do it. Done? I forgot the personality. What do I do? Crap. Can I mess with that? You know what? We're here now. We're here now. We're here. Can't go back. I forgot to save. August ended. September began. It was time to go back to school. Lizzie groaned and complained the entire first week. She hated going to classes. Still, there were interesting things to do that couldn't be done anywhere else. You weren't sure how Cove felt about it. He was enrolled that year. That was like a sign Cove would be staying in Sunset Bird for a while. At school, he was alright, but kept his distance from the other kids. From what you saw anyway. Oh. Alright, so yeah, so with that little achievement, we are teenagers. Obviously, with the acne and stuff. Whenever he could, Cove stuck to you like glue. He didn't even mind that much what you did to pass the time, as long as it was together. That year, the divorce of Cove's parents was finalized, and you overheard your parents talking about it, saying Cove's dad got full custody. Dang. At first, you worried that meant bad news. It had made Mr. Holden cry, apparently. Then you found out it meant Cove would keep living with his dad. He would only stay with his mom a few weeks of the year. Cove cried too. For different reasons, you thought. It seemed like Cove and his dad might move again, but Mr. Holden decided to stay after all. Mom asked him about it once. He had said he didn't want to uproot Cove's life a second time. Mr. Holden tried to get Cove to like Sunset Bird more. He kept encouraging his son to go out and see the place. Sometimes Mr. Holden volunteered you to spend time with Cove. He seemed very confident that it was an effective strategy. Cove never talked to anyone about what happened with his parents and withdrew whenever it was brought up. It was hard for him, yet nobody knew how to help. Eventually, Cove stopped crying on his own. You couldn't understand what had changed. Still, you worried about him. You could tell he wasn't completely happy. Maybe one day he could say out loud what he felt inside. After that, it felt like things had gone back to normal, except what was normal didn't stay the same. Years passed and suddenly you were in middle school. You weren't a kid anymore. You were 13 years old. That officially made you a teen, even if your sister didn't agree. The toys and crayons that used to litter every free space in the room had been packed away somewhere, replaced by new hobbies. There were other changes too. Cove's cast got taken off. It was weird to see him without it initially. Underneath the pink plaster ended up being a long, thin scar that snaked across his forearm. Cove's chest puffed out in pride when someone drew attention to it. He also went through a major growth spurt. He was the tallest student in his class for 2 years in a row. Cove will probably hold that spot again next time. In class, people knew him for more than just being tall. He also stood out because of how well he did in gym and other athletic situations. Alright, cool! So we got athlete Cove. Okay. Over the years, he began opening up more too. You saw him talking amicably with other kids or neighbors from time to time. And the only kid that came to visit the neighborhood when you were little, Shiloh, well, he was gone. No! He and his mom moved back south because of her work, just 1 year after Cove came to Sunset Bird. I'm a little hurt by that. I really liked Shiloh. I wanted to see what he would turn out to be like. Could I have, changed that at all? It had been really upsetting when he left. Lizzie was inconsolable for weeks. But nobody talked about Shiloh anymore. It was a long time ago. You learned some heartbreaking things became less sad the further away they were, even if they had never gotten any better. That was sad in its own way. Yeah. Things at home were different too. You still lived in the same house and all that, but it wasn't how it was before. Ma dyed her hair purple. Sweet! Cool. Wanting something new and liked it so much she kept dyeing it. You remember calling her mommy as a kid, but something like that seemed awkward nowadays. You were much too old for that word. Lizzie felt too mature for her nickname too. Aw, she insisted on everyone calling her Elizabeth. So you did. That's good. This is... Oh my god, things changing. Your mom soon gave her permission to go places other than the playground and shopping street, which she took advantage of. You rarely saw her around the old neighborhood. In fact, she hardly spent time with you the way she did before. Yeah, she's older. Elizabeth instead associated more and more with girls from school who were her own age. Maybe the difference between 13 and 15 were greater than the difference between 8 and 10. Got you. So we're 13 now. And so Elizabeth is 15. You started befriending new people yourself, like Derek Suarez. He didn't live in the neighborhood or go to the same school. What happened was his and Cove's dad struck up a business partnership a few months ago. Since then, Derek would pop up in the area now and then. It seemed Mr. Suarez was happy to let Derek tag along to his work, if Derek had the time for it. Without a doubt, everyone and everything around you had changed, in small and big ways. You had too. As time went by, though, it was easy to settle into this new normal. Then, before you knew it, school was over and summer vacation had come again. Look at my room now, with this like nice looking gaming chair set up. Wow, a little scuba thing here in the back. HCWI023G? What is that? That's interesting. I wish I could remember what my room looked like before. Completely. I have to go back and look. That's one really good thing about recording these. It was the first day of summer vacation. The sun was as hot as ever, but you were inside and away from its harsh rays. To be more specific, you were snuggling up in bed, celebrating your time off by sleeping in, wide awake, about to head out and enjoy your time. If it were me, I would be snuggled up in bed, celebrating my time off. But let's see if we can go like hunt for snails or something. We probably won't anymore. Let's see. You made sure to slather on a generous amount of sunscreen so you didn't get burnt. You were looking in the mirror, studying the clothes you'd thrown on, when your bedroom door opened without warning. In the reflection, you saw Elizabeth raise an eyebrow. Look at her! Yes! Oh my goodness. Wow. I like her hair. Have you been staring at yourself this whole morning? Could you knock next time? Go away. Good morning, Elizabeth. Do we want to be snappy or do we want to be sarcastic? Let's be sarcastic. She ignored that, crossing her arms over her chest with a disgruntled expression. Clearly, she hadn't come in just to see you. Mom told me to tell you that your friend's at the door. He brought some happy summer gift from Mr. Holden. Mom wants you to take it from him. Say thanks or whatever.
Come on.
So come down already. Oh my gosh. Be right there. Okay, fine. Really? That's great. I'm coming. I'll be there when I'm there. We'll do that one. Elizabeth said nothing else and left. Oh, that's so sad though, having done what was instructed of her. Now alone, you focused on the mirror once again. Your reflection hardly even fit in the frame. You're very tall. Your reflection went over the whole length of the mirror. You're pretty tall. Your reflection fit comfortably in the frame, your average height. There was a lot of open real estate in the frame. You're pretty short. You had trouble getting your reflection to appear. In the mounted mirror frame, you're very short. We'll go with average height. Cove was really tall. Derek was kind of short, and you were pretty much the exact height that someone would expect for a 13-year-old. Cool, I like that. You liked your height. You weren't sure how to feel about it. You were kind of self-conscious over it. We're not sure how to feel about it. We're not sure. Yeah, we're just gonna go here. Things kept changing with the height you actually had and what the impression of that height was based on your age. It was confusing. Then you put the finishing touches on your outfit while ruminating on the situation. Careless as they had been, Elizabeth's words piqued your curiosity. You planned on going over to see what Cove was up to, so this worked in your favor. Your reflection grinned back at you. You're looking forward to seeing him. You left your room, taking an easy time down the stairs. Step 2, second chance. Hey, second chance! You spotted Mom first, reclining on the couch. She held a magazine in her hands, which she was perusing through. Morning, Mom. She looked up at your greeting, a smile instantly appearing on her face.
Thanks.
Oh, hi, Mom. Look at your hair. Good morning, Jamie. Thank you for coming down. Ma's at the door with Cove. He can't stay over today, unfortunately. Why don't you go and thank him before he leaves? You nodded and made your way to the front of the house. Just as she said, Ma was there making conversation. She must have heard you because she looked over her shoulder.
Oh.
Oh. Her hair is so nice. That purple does look really good. Look who finally made it. Morning, sleepyhead. I woke up early, okay? Ma reached forward and you knew she was about to pat you on the head. She was taller than average, so you were little in her eyes, despite being typical size for your own age. You let her do it. You happily let her do it. You tilted your body aside to dodge. You pushed her hand back and laughed. You pushed her hand back and groaned. We're gonna let her do it. It's fine. We're not gonna be like super happy about it because we're like, gosh, Mom. But we're not gonna be complete poop heads. You stood by patiently and indulged your Ma's wishes. She gave you 2 small taps on the crown of your head. Ah, you're the last one down today, you know that? Life isn't a race. Fair. Morning. I was going to stay in longer, so you're welcome. Sorry about the wait. Uh-huh. What did we get? I'm gonna say life isn't a race, because that's great. Funny. I don't think that excuse will work if you're late for anyone other than your own mother, though. With a small laugh, Ma stepped aside. Cove was just as you remembered, exactly how you came to know him to be. Did he bring us a fruit bouquet thing? Look at him! Oh my god! He leaned uncomfortably to the side in your doorway, as his bushy hair covered part of his face. Man, I'm interested to see how many branches of dialogue and narrative this game has. Because it has to, I imagine, it has to play with what you choose, literally. So there's gotta be hundreds, maybe thousands. His features were pinched in embarrassment, and he shifted from one foot to another. He was holding what must be the much talked about gift. At first glance, you'd figure it must be a bouquet of flowers. Then you gave it a real look. Nope. Instead, it was carefully cut fruit. It made a lot of sense that it was actually from Cove's dad. You had to suppress a laugh at this showing. You couldn't imagine many folks buying that sort of thing for their own personal enjoyment. That kind of arrangement was built for the presentation, likely to impress whoever was inevitably going to receive it. It seemed no matter how long he lived here, Mr. Holden would keep going out of his way to be neighborly, and Cove would always be roped into participating. Aww. Cove smiled at the sight of you. The sting of his goofy errand he was clearly embarrassed to be on eased. Hi, Jamie. You smiled back. It was second nature to you. Cove had always been much a close friend, ever since you two were kids. Hey, it's nice to see you. Yeah, you too. Your grin widened even more. Every time he came, your mood was brightened. Aww. It was already shaping up to be another long summer, with plenty of time for the two of you to have fun together. His awkwardness over the task started to creep back in, so Cove nudged the gift closer to you. He was ready to be relieved of it. And with that, the gift was accepted. I hope you and your family like this. It's a pretty good gift. I think so, anyway. He smiled earnestly. Dad spent a lot of time picking out the best size and design. There were so many options to choose from. Thank you. Thanks. You are too cute sometimes. We're just gonna say thank you with an exclamation point. Could you tell your dad we love the gift? Yeah. Mr. Holden's behavior really was different from any neighbor you'd ever had. That after 5 years you were used to his antics, and you'd since made up your mind on what your opinion was. He was nice, he was sort of funny, he was pretty weird, you didn't like him, he was great, and kind of handsome to boot. I mean, fair? I think he's sort of funny, personally. But I think as a neighbor, he's really great, so we're going to say that. Though there were some things people didn't like about Mr. Holden, you didn't mind them and liked him quite a bit. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. I mean, is he great though? Now I'm questioning, because he tried to bribe us in the beginning to hang out with his son. I'm just gonna take that as he really cares about his son. Adjusting. Your thoughts were quickly interrupted by a shout. There you are! You shared a confused look with Cove. As both of you stepped through the open door onto the neighborhood street. It didn't take long to locate the source of the noise. You spotted Derek, just a few yards down the road. He ran up to you. You were happy at the sight of him. You were confused at the sight of him. You were displeased at the sight of him. We're happy. He's our friend, right? Derek was certainly a welcome guest in your neighborhood. It was a pleasant surprise whenever he showed up. Oh, we kind of have the same hairstyle. After stopping a couple steps away, Derek hunched over to catch his breath. Then he looked up with a wide grin. Hey, my guys. Oh my god. I was just at your house, Cove, but no one was there. Should have figured you'd be at Jamie's place. Do you ever spend time in your own home, or are you always just there? Derek laughed at his own joke. He either didn't notice that it embarrassed Cove, or the embarrassment was what he was actually laughing at. Derek turned to you. He was going to say more when his eyes widened and he gasped. What's that? You followed his gaze, unsure. Then you realized what he meant. You were still holding Mr. Holden's gift. This? It's kind of like a bouquet of flowers, but made out of fruit.
Nice.
Nice. Can I have some? Sure, we can share? I haven't even tried any yet. It's a gift for my family. I can't give it to you. Maybe you can have some later. So, I want to say, maybe you can have some later. Because it is a gift for our family. And is it rude? I don't know gift etiquette at all. Is it rude to like start sharing your gift automatically? We're gonna say this is what happens. Maybe we can learn what gift etiquette is by this answer. Derek grew more excited by your words, bouncing on the balls of his feet. I think way too hard about these answers. Awesome. Then he nodded his head as if to clear it. Anyway, that's right. I came here because I needed to say something big. He paused, possibly for effect. There's some other kid here in Sunset Bird. Is it Shiloh? Is it Shiloh? Cove was as surprised as you were by the news. Such a reaction made sense. No one around your age had moved here since Cove did 5 years ago. Were they with their family? Maybe they were cutting through. Nuh-uh. The new kid was all by himself, just walking. Did you talk to him?
Nope.
Nope. I came to report the sighting right away. I like this kid. The kid had green hair, glasses, was pretty small, and seemed really upset about something. I hope he didn't leave. You blinked slowly. You looked over your long-time neighbor. That sounds a lot like you, Cove. When you first got here, anyway. It kind of does, doesn't it? That's weird. He sounded almost fond, a small smile playing on his lips. Derek snickered good-naturedly. I can see that really well, now that you say so. But what did you say? Let's go find Cove's look-alike. We should all meet him. I'll do it. Sure, I want to see who this person is. Derek grinned, then he pointed down the street, the way he came. Last I saw him, the mystery visitor was going this direction. Nothing else needed to be said. The three of you were off, with Derek leading the way. Is it Shiloh? Did he dye his hair green? Derek brought you to the beach, and as a trio, you made your way down the shore to the old playground. You walked the familiar path in a comfortable silence. It's totally Shiloh. When you were almost there, you spotted the kid in question. His bright colors almost shone like a beacon beneath the rays of the sun. He scuffled around, kicking up the sand as he paced. It was true, he certainly seemed upset, but you didn't think he was sad, like you had originally pictured. No. With his erratic movements, he scrunched up his expression. He came off angry. You started to have doubts about this expedition. Maybe it'd be better if you left him alone and let him sort himself out. Derek didn't feel the same. He waved wildly, calling out to the boy. Hey guy, over here! It's not Shiloh. Who is this kid? Is it? I think Shiloh had freckles. The kid whipped around, an impressive scowl carving deeper onto his face. His eyes were tired, but a strong, hostile energy still radiated from him. What? What is it? What do you want? The sharp tone made Derek flinch. He shifted on his feet. What's your name? Jeremy. Was that it? Alright, Jeremy. No. I'm Derek. That's Jamie and Cove. We were just walking around and saw you. We wanted to say hi. There aren't a lot of kids our age in the neighborhood. Yeah, so, you know, it's cool to see someone else here. Strangely, Jeremy grew furious by your response. Oh my god, kid. If steam could erupt from a person's ears, it would have happened then. They did bring me somewhere stupid. Of course, I knew it. What?
My parents.
My parents. They're the ones who brought me. I didn't walk to this town. Can you not figure that out on your own?
Right.
Right. My dad brings me to Sunset Bird too, when he has to come for work and all that stuff. It's not bad. That earned him a glare from Jeremy. Derek winced beneath it, glancing away. It was a struggle to remain friendly with this Jeremy guy. I mean, I wouldn't want to come here for a real vacation, probably either. That's an understatement. This doesn't count as a vacation. It's a waste of time, a chore. My parents... My parents' family is nearby, and we just had to come and see them. Ugh. If they're your parents' family, doesn't that make them your family too?
I guess.
I guess. That's a pretty good reason to come by. Did you want to go somewhere else? No. Jeremy crossed his arms with a huff. He turned away. They should have gone by themselves, since they cared so much and left me home, but I'm not allowed to be by myself. Pff. It makes no sense. They're the ones who don't know how to do anything, and I'm the kid. You kept quiet. You shouldn't talk about your parents like that. Sorry, it must suck being forced to do something you don't want. We just said hello. You don't have to keep complaining at us. Calm down. You don't have to yell so much. Who peed in your cereal this morning? So, let's go with you shouldn't talk about your parents like that. Cause, I don't know, I just feel like Jamie, the way we're playing him, it likes his moms. And likes, I don't know. This kid, there's something a little bit annoying about this kid. There's probably something underlying here. So I don't want to get too snippy, but... What do you know about my parents? Have you met them? No. Fair. Some parents are criminals, but I guess us brainless children have to be nice. Being rude to a parent is the worst thing in the world. I guess that's fair. That's not what I meant.
So dumb.
Close enough. You be their kid. I'll take your mom and dad. Only someone with really easy parents would be dumb enough to say something so stupid. Hey!
Hey.
Jamie is not... Jamie is not dumb. I'm smarter than you are. My parents are great and you can't have them. I have 2 moms. Shut up. Stop it. I'm gonna fight this kid. Coming at me like this. Granted, I did say a comment that, you know, was kind of not based, but let's see. I'm smarter than you are. My parents are great and you can't have them. I have 2 moms. Shut up. I kind of want to say I have 2 moms. I just want to see what he says. He's probably like, I don't care. Same thing. Whatever. Same thing. You turn to Cove, lowering your voice. The 2 of you aren't similar at all, after all. Jeremy must have had good hearing, though, because he caught the private exchange and scoffed.
Stupid.
Of course we're not similar. My eyebrows aren't stupid. Cove's... Okay, we're about to get uppity here. Cove's cheeks flushed crimson at the insult. You couldn't be sure if it was out of embarrassment or anger. Maybe both. Come on. What? No, Cove's wavy eyebrows are so cool. How can you say that when you've got a bowl cut? Don't listen to him. They're really unique and special. Well, they are kind of silly. Apologize to Cove right now. You can't treat people like that. Oh my god, there's so many things. There's so many things. What do I do? What do I do? Okay. So part of me wants to say the last one. But I really don't feel like telling him what to do. I think I am actually going to let Cove know that his eyebrows are cool by saying don't listen to him. They're really unique and special. This one's tough. We'll see what happens. Cove smiled weakly. Special because of how ridiculous they look, maybe. You just rolled your eyes. You crossed your arms over your chest. You shook your head. You patted Cove on the shoulder. You lunged towards Jeremy. You grinned at all of this. You know what? You know what? Violence isn't the answer. But we're gonna lunge towards Jeremy. Cause I'm not having this right now. Words don't work. Cause he thinks he knows everything right now. So we'll see what lunge towards Jeremy does. I'm actually really curious to find out. With your fist balled, you made a quick step forward. But you only wanted to spook him. Okay, it gave me that option. That's good. He was the one who started things. You were ready to end them. Ready to end them. We're only gonna do it to spook him. I'm so happy it gave me that option. He made it clear that words wouldn't work, leaving you to resort to action, even if it was just for show. Beautiful. Jeremy and Cove jumped in to stop you before you reached him. They each grabbed you by the arm. Still, Jeremy instinctively stumbled backwards. He practically fell over. If that's all you can do about what I'm saying, it's just proving I'm right. You're brainless. Jeremy continued to defensively fume and throw out insults. The reaction you got was definitely worth any consequences. Wow, what is wrong with you? Instead of taking offense, Jeremy only parroted Derek's words in a nasally voice.
Wow, what is wrong with you?
Wow. This is dumb. Jeremy stuck out his tongue and skulked away, throwing more sand everywhere as he went. You watched him go, hunched over, until he became a speck in your vision. Silence reigned in his wake. The three of you tried to process what just happened. I can't believe it. What a mean kid. Derek wasn't kidding, and by the sound of those earlier complaints, the new boy Jeremy was going to be in the area for at least a little while this summer. So yeah, so there's definitely something happening underlying with that kid. I kind of want to know, but at the same time, he grinds my gears. Derek sighed in dismay, plopping onto the ground. You followed and Cove did too shortly after. There wasn't much else to do.
This sucks.
This sucks. I was hoping we could meet someone fun, hang out maybe. He shook his head. After a moment, he slowly turned to you with a hopeful expression. But, you know what would really improve the day? Alright, and that's where we're going to end this crazy episode. Jeremy is something else. He's really interesting. I really want to figure out what's happening with him, but I may have completely messed that up with my actions. Time will tell. But if you enjoyed this episode, please leave a thumbs up. And yeah, let me know what you think about Jeremy. If you want to keep seeing more, hit that subscribe button. You know what to do. And bye.